So now Joe has his mind made up. While he doesn't move very fast anymore, he quickly thought up a solution to his problem. It's just visible out his front window. It's a sign. Wanted. A wife. Apply within.
Let them come along, and they'll find me, and I'll find them.
So far, it's working. 13 suitors stopped by yesterday. 2 today.
The people that go by are today are few. It's a very slow day.
And here comes one now.
Here comes a girl now. Well, she doesn't come in, she's fat.
And she doesn't stop. Joe admits that he's an eccentric, but he's also no fool. Of the 13 women who come here to his posh Guilford home, he says that most of them are just after his money.
They'll come by just to see, and they look at the house. They'll say, well, he'll be dead before I'll die, so I get him.
Joe says he'll give the finalists a month tryout, but even he wonders if it will work.
Oh, yeah. I have hope, but not expectations. ECCENTRIC.
Eccentric.
Yeah.
That's you.
Yeah.
Mike Schuh, Channel 13 Eyewitness News. All right.
My name is Glenn Page. I'm a 13-game plan ticket holder. Today is opening day. Yes, I'm driving.
You're driving.
I'm driving. I'm driving. It feels good. I'm feeling good. It's a good day. It's Arbor Day. It's opening day.
Yesterday, Glenn Page would have taken light rail, but today he had to work. Thus, his mind is on parking.
Challenge, yes. We're talking about a challenge to find a spot.
As we enter the city, the search begins. Any worries?
Yeah, I think we'll find a spot. I've got a secret weapon. I know it exists.
It does.
I know it exists, but I haven't found it yet. I'm hoping to find it today.
Glenn, have you watched any TV?
The Maryland Stadium Authority is recommending you leave your car at home.
Have you heard that there's a parking problem down at the stadium this year?
The Orioles lost 2,600 parking spaces.
Yeah, well, as I understand it, it's really just 2,000 parking spaces.
2,500.
Okay, 2,500.
They say that fans are the victims.
And then he hears this.
The driving is easy. It's the parking that becomes the problem. A lot of those are lot full signs, unfortunately.
You know, I've got a secret weapon, Mike.
Oh, you have a secret weapon?
Oh, yes.
You have a secret weapon?
I have a secret weapon.
Sort of a plan B?
A plan B. Yes, I do.
The secret weapon, it's 10 feet long and made of blue plastic.
We've got plan B.
We have a plan B. American League, here I come.
Off he goes. See that speck in between the two boats? That's Glenn.
I'm in the middle of the Inner Harbor, headed to Camden Yards for opening day, and I'll be there in I'd say about 10 minutes. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. This plan B worked beautifully. Parking, you can get around it. The best way to come to the ballpark is by boat. Go O's.
Michael Eck is so sore. To stand, he has to lean on the fender of his rental car. This weekend, he was on I-83 North, driving to work near Lancaster. Up till then, Michael Eck's trip to work had been uneventful. Then he passed here, exit 4, in Pennsylvania. He just passed a line of cars and a semi-truck.
Within a few moments, there was an initial bump on the back of the car. I checked my mirrors and all I could see is grill. And I'm thinking, I got tapped.
Thinking that they needed to exchange insurance information, he went to pull over.
Next thing I know, boom! Second impact was a bodacious impact. That's the only way I can describe it. I was tossed around like a rag doll.
Then his car died, but he says the truck didn't let up.
And proceeded to continually strike the vehicle traveling up Interstate 83.
Eck called 911 on his cell phone, and a Pennsylvania trooper tried to catch up. So, for 12 miles, all the way around the city of York, Eck is pushed up 83 at 60 miles an hour.
Well, you have to understand, I'm not talking about a tow truck that showed up to give me a gentle push to the side of the road. I'm talking about a man with 40 tons hammering the back of my car, trying to knock me out of the way.
When the police pull over the trucker, he's hauled off to jail.
The charges include aggravated assault, simple assault, reckless endangerment, harassment, and numerous traffic violations also.
I want 10 minutes in a room with this man. That's all I need.
As for Eck, He's bruised and sore and seeing specialists and a lawyer about his injuries.
A lot of these are live shots, obviously, you can tell.
It's all right here in black and white.
Black, being
Of the color black, producing or reflecting comparatively
little light and having no predominant hue.
White, the achromatic color
of maximum lightness, the color of objects.
Reflect nearly all light of all visible wavelengths.
Okay, but what makes white white?
TiO2.
Okay.
TiO2 is titanium dioxide, and it's everywhere. On the street, covering your car, even in your mouth.
Titanium dioxide, it's a fine white pigmentary powder.
And guess what? Baltimore is a world capital of TiO2. We're the capital of white.
We have a very large facility here that makes a lot of the white stuff, so the capital white is certainly an appropriate title for us.
A company called Millennium Inorganic Chemicals has dropped $20 million, which, by the way, contain their product, to build a one-of-a-kind lab.
We want to make better white. We want to make cheaper white. We want to make new and different kinds of white.
To build better white, you need
black.
Well, believe it or not, to get pure white, you start with black.
We start with a black beach sand.
And in a process too complicated to go into here, voila, pure white.
That's white.
Mike Schuh.
That's it.
WJZ Eyewitness News.
All right.
In East Baltimore, the mellow time after work is interrupted. Often interrupted. Illegal dirt bikes are so common here
They ride everywhere.
that they seem to have touched the lives of nearly everyone.
My niece just got ran over by one.
A girl that we knew was pregnant, she got her face messed up, and she died, and her baby died too, over a dirt bike.
All of that, and it doesn't matter at all to Tavon.
They're good. I mean, I like them. I like riding them. I like seeing people ride them. They wheelie them. It's all right.
But what happened this morning may just dampen his enthusiasm. Under the old law, if police saw a dirt bike in this abandoned backyard, they couldn't do much about it. But under the new law, now they could come into this backyard and confiscate it.
He's got a new law which will allow the police to go up onto porches and into backyards and into abandoned houses.
To steal dirt bikes.
Well, where they're stored, they can confiscate them.
Oh, that's...
$1,000 fine.
Ooh, that's cruel.
And while we're talking, look who drives up. The man who signed the dirt bike law.
Going along with all this traffic, you're like a walking advertisement saying you're an organ donor. Those things will kill you, and neighbors hate them. All the
You know what? Tavon's not convinced. But if the city confiscates the bike he rides, he doesn't have to be.
Roll that thing. Eyewitness News is live in Sky Chopper 13. Mike Schuh is flying high and here to tell us that the state is preparing a massive spraying campaign. Hi, Mike.
Hi, Kai, indeed they are. We are over Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. Let me show you why. Below our helicopters, you may soon see over your house spraying insecticide, all part of an effort to wipe out this, the gypsy moth caterpillar.
And then there's something called the life hammer, which even has a razor blade in the handle so you can slice right through a seatbelt. As far as the hammer goes, it's pretty self-explanatory. This is the toilet in Verna Patty's basement. You don't want to know what that stuff is. Hi, Sally. Here is a demonstration of why these restrictions are needed. I am standing at water's edge, and during a normal year, the water's edge would be where the camera is located taking these pictures. Well, Sally, the drivers say that it is absolutely brutal out there. I have a demonstration for you. Photographer Joel Eagle will hold the other side of this. The water out there is 45 degrees. The currents are constantly shifting out there. The wreck is shifting and the sands are shifting. And beyond all that, that wreck is 35 feet under the surface. The one time of year when people get to step out and be something that they're not normally. So you got any ideas what I am today?
Oh, gee, that's a stretch, Mike.
Very cute.
You're looking at the air tank of the first diver. He's swimming out 50 feet. He's under 8 inches of ice. What he's going to do You swim out to the length of his line and just sit there.
It's terrible.
Right now, the average price for a gallon of gasoline in Maryland is $1.66, and of course, 9/10. But just a month ago, that same gallon of gasoline would have only cost you $1.53 a gallon, and of course, 9/10. But let us travel back a year in time. Are you ready? That same gallon of gasoline would have only cost you $1.09 a gallon, and of course, 9/10. But one can't help but wonder, if things keep up the way they are, if this is far behind.
The key is...
He was killed instantly. His friends found his body. But you may be asking how they could not hear the approach of the oncoming train. Listen to what it sounds like when one of these high-speed Amtrak trains approach. You can hardly hear them. But how much warning would you have if it sounded like this? This is what Richard Helmick heard. Nothing. All his life, he's been deaf. Even though he wore 2 hearing aids, they didn't help much. And the rest of his group, they were deaf too.
His friends are like that too.
If someone were up under the Key Bridge, who'd ever know? That's where these choppers come in.
Pilot Norm Moulter has Trooper 1 about 100 feet off the water, because when they do these Homeland Security checks, they need to be able to see things that other people on the ground wouldn't be able to.
Hi, Sally. In this and in any other helicopter, if any of these emergency warning lights on the panel turn on, the pilot needs to land the chopper as soon as possible. At midnight, a warning light or a tail radar chip light. Now, there is nothing wrong with Foxtrots. These sliver of metal come with normal operations, but the transmissions in helicopters are so unbelievably important, and here is why. In a helicopter, once you're in the air, you can have the engine actually stop, and the blades will windmill, and the pilot can land the plane. But if the transmission were to break, it's possible the blades would stop, and the helicopter then would crash. Back to you, Sally.
Thank you, Mike.
Amtrak passengers have found it hard to get good information. They say that their website is nearly indecipherable, and when you get on their automated phone system, the wait is 20 minutes to a half hour.
What time's your flights today?
We're going to keep rolling here. This is just some raw tape we shot last week, and we kind of talked over our stand-up. Hey, do we want to do that again or not? The only thing I'm thinking is once you get to the end of the train, and then it follows to me, and then the train goes over my shoulder, and then we're not fighting that thing, because that was so fucking loud. Because I think the second one was, it was all right, but you know, follow the ender. Let's do some sideways stuff to get it going that way. I don't know. I'm just talking. If you think we're gonna blow it, let's not. Pardon me? Well, let's get some just going sideways. Some, you know, some train. Well, I'm saying use the final car. Use the last engine, the pusher engine. Hey, here it is. Oh, hey. Amtrak has made many improvements to its security, but they say that for a variety of reasons, it will never be the same as what you see at our nation's airports. All right.
I'm so sorry.
And there are over 52 million married American couples.
Would you like dictators?
Hey, no one really knows what it's like.
Look, I'm going away.
At the Center for Marital Studies in Denver, a researcher says that channel surfing is one of the 2 big marital issues for the 90s.
How'd you know that?
I believe it.
This right here could help. It's an infrared TV remote control jammer. It's called Stop It. Go-go bars, strip joints? Must be talking about the block, right? I think you'd be surprised at the number of such places in a neighborhood near you. Business leaders here are so angry that they've pledged to vote with their wallets and dump HP products. We can show you what they're doing to clean up this mess. Well, what we can't bring you is the smell. The odor of gasoline coming out of this drainage pipe is incredible. Some kids from Towson State have even called, wanting to know if they can camp out overnight. The training manual for Baltimore County Police says that in demonstrations like this, A training weapon should be used, not the officer's real gun. Let's put Priceline to the test. In my household, we're using a lot of disposable diapers. This is the brand we use right here, and the price is $11.99 in the store.
Right now in Chopper 13, we're flying right on the edge of one of these invisible lines. On this side of the helicopter, we don't have to be talking to anyone to be flying. But if we were to fly just a few feet this way, well then we would have to be in contact with a number of different federal agencies.
All right. Who thought an airplane landing could make people feel so good?
We're back.
At the park at the end of the runway, we find Carl Bett taking pictures and the Heinets listening for another plane.
Just seeing them bring the planes in was a good feeling.
We got up this morning and heard the airplanes, and that was a wonderful sound.
Security is everywhere you look. Police boats patrol the perimeter. Military choppers are in the sky. National Guardsmen move by. Armed guardsmen, all in place to protect the
airport.
A place Frank Luntz knows well. He flies a couple of times a week.
In the last 3 weeks, I've taken 3 trips out of BWI that would have come out of here and 2 trips out of Dulles that would have come out of here. So I'm glad to be back.
But his home airport is empty. There's simply not enough flights to fill the halls. Today, 110 flights are going to go out of this airport. Normally, there'd be 750. In fact, on a normal day, you wouldn't be able to even see me right now. There'd be so many people standing in front of me in this main concourse.
Normally, because I'm always using this roller board, I'm knocking over people at this point. Now I could throw a baseball and not hit anybody. Look at this place. I mean, it's empty. It's a ghost town. And listen to the sounds of people. Everyone is quieter as they walk through. But you just got to get back on the horse. You got to get back on the plane. It's the right thing for the economy. It's the right thing to say to the people who caused all the damage.
Starting point, Crabtown. Destination, Heinz Stadium, Pittsburgh. Take I-70 west. Keep going past Frederick through Hagerstown. Note this exit. Okay, you're 70 miles into the trip. What is your group looking for? Well, I think they're looking for restrooms and snacks. Hagerstown Outlet Mall. It is a long, long trip. In the mountains, you're in radio wasteland. Bye-bye, Maryland. Welcome to Pennsylvania. Please slow down. Yes, officer, I know. The speed limit in your state is 55. We're now about 2 hours into the trip, and we're going through a town hit by an ugly stick. Pay attention, here's where you get on the turnpike. They charge you $4.40 to drive on this road. But at least there are tunnels to keep it interesting. And at the end of the first tunnel, one thinks of Quixote and hopes our quest isn't madness. Have I said this drive is boring? Really boring. It's like driving to Kansas. Near Pittsburgh, head-on semis and narrow construction lanes tend to wake you up.
And the loss and the Steelers getting ready to play the Ravens on Sunday.
Go 376 Pittsburgh.
Uh-huh.
When you get downtown, get off the north side exit.
North side exit.
Stadium's on your left. Have fun. Pittsburgh Steelers!
Go Ravens!
Finally, we're here. 4 interstates, 250 miles, 4 hours. The end zones are being painted and the field spruced up. So you want to sit in some of these seats, do you? Well, guess what? They're all sold out, as you might imagine. And scalping, well, it's illegal in all of Pennsylvania.
Where you're buying your tickets on the street or wherever, make sure that they're the real thing. They're not buying something counterfeit, because the counterfeit tickets will not be honored.
The stadium chief has heard that in Baltimore, some are paying $500 to sit here. His advice?
Stay home and watch it.
Like a true Ravens fan is going to listen to someone from this town. Mike Schuh, WJZ Eyewitness News. All right. Under this water, at mid-channel, lies the tug Swift. Trapped inside when she was hit, Ronald Bonneville.
He never had no enemies. He could be a total stranger and get him there.
Inside these 3 trucks are a dozen of Ronald's family. They look out in the wreck in silence. They've been here now in this exact spot for 4 days.
I tell you, looks like me. It's getting a little rough out there. See the white caps? Look like
reminisce about the good times and the bad times.
Standing outside, Sheila Moore, her nephew Justin, and brother Bill were thrown overboard. Their bodies are still out here.
If you have a family member, whether you can see or not, you want to be here.
I'm not going back till we find them.
This riverbank is as close as they can get. Their view never seems to change. After 4 days, they want to see more of where their sons and brothers died. We take Ronald Bonneville's dad up for an aerial view.
Is that where he's located? Oh my God.
For the first time, he can see the waves breaking over the back of the submerged tug.
Yeah, I can see the water breaking on it. We can go there, sir. Thank you.
Someone has to be here. You know, people could talk all they want, you know, while you're out there every day because.
With open arms and lots of love.
I got all your letters. Yeah.
After 5 months, Waconia High got back one of its own.
Oh, couldn't done it without you guys.
Connie Manuel spent her school year fighting for life, the whole time telling herself that ovarian cancer wouldn't keep her from coaching, from teaching again.
I didn't want to say goodbye, no. Being in coaching all my years and teaching in all my years, you know, I've learned how to fight and I've learned how to win, so I kind of put that same philosophy to work here. Wow.
And Connie's family packed in to welcome her home, to thank their coach, the one who practices what she teaches.
Look forward to her leading us to hopefully a 3rd consecutive conference title. Thanks.
Then, one after one, 13 in all, they buzzed, shaved, clipped for Coach Connie.
That's always where when it comes to teachers like Miss Manuel. She's a great person.
And it's because of these kids that I do it.
Worth the fight?
Way worth the fight.
So Coach returns to her kids, shaved heads included and do-rags part of the package. Everyone's happy here. At Waconia High School, Rod Simons, 5 Eyewitness Sports. Nice.
Let's see what happens. Here's Pete back to throw. He hands off to Sanders. Gets outside to the 30. Brilliant. What a sight.
It's the greatest running back in the National Football League today, and it's one of the greatest I've seen in a long, long time.
You stop him, you stop him, you stop him, and then see you later.
Home in the middle. Balls up. Get close.
The moment these neo-Nazis stepped foot in downtown St. Paul today, protesters made their message clear.
No Nazis.
Neo-Nazis are not welcome. Turned out our camera crew wasn't welcome either. One of the Nazi protesters took a piece of equipment off our camera.
Don't mess with our equipment.
Told me he wanted to make sure he did everything he could to silence these guys.
White women, white you. These are the lovers of free speech. We came here not wanting trouble or violence.
But violence is all they got. Some threw rocks, others spit at them. They all shouted down the Nazi message.
This is the enemy of our people. We came here to speak in the name of our family, our racial family.
But protesters cut that speech short with what turned into a free-for-all.
Whoa! Watch your back!
Shoot back! Shoot back!
I'm a full-blooded Indian. We're tired of the racism.
St. Paul police did show up a little bit too late, though. By the time they got here, the neo-Nazis were already gone. The protesters were being treated for their injuries. But a few minutes later, the violence started up again when this trio of skinheads showed up.
I hide from nobody.
For another showdown.
You can be in any neighborhood you want, but we're going to keep outing you and exposing you.
No Nazis! No KKK! No fascist USA!
I would like you to arrest that one guy.
Now, these neo-Nazis say they still plan some kind of meeting this weekend.
Please back off.
If they have one, expect more confrontations. This group of protesters seem to know their every move. Rod Westman, Channel 5 Eyewitness News, St. Paul.
We're on Portland, Minnesota.
They stand behind the opposing goalkeeper.
Here they come backside. Dieter, watch your back foot.
And their goal, their passion, is to be this guy's worst nightmare.
They're coming in on the backside. Dieter, check the back post. Oh my God, Dieter, watch it.
I think they're really hyper at games.
Keep pushing, guys. Keep pushing. It takes usually one goal, then we get them rattled. But I think they're getting to you, aren't I, Dieter?
Airplane! Airplane! I think they eat really hyper food.
Defense! We feel like we're the 13th player on the field. Hey! What do you think you are, Peter Pan? Monkey walk! It's every home game like this. It's so exciting. We have such a good time. At the halftime, we switch ends so that we can be behind the opposing keeper all the time. Let's go, Thunder!
We act nuts and people love us for it.
Left, move right! Move left! Right! Right! Left! If we're loud enough, left, move right! Move it! He can't organize his defense.
No telling what Dieter's thinking. But if you're a Thunder player,
we love them. It's just a fun part of soccer. They keep it clean.
Get it in there! Shoot it! Oh, man!
Right now we got about 15 people back here. But we make enough noise for about 100. Get on. Here we go. And one day they started playing that song, we come down the track swinging our horns, and now we do it every game. Here for the Thunderhead.
I think they're one of the best part of the team.
just imagine 90 minutes of this.
Let's go, Thunder, let's go! Hey, Dieter, we're warming up the bus for you, but don't worry, you're gonna miss that one too, Dieter!
You might think Dieter would storm off after the game.
You sign the back of my shirt, please? Good shot, hey, we're having a good time.
Talk about sportsmanship.
Great guy, good job. Good job, nice hands.
Ron has autographs from every goalkeeper this season.
I think it was the 13th player that made all the difference.
John Gross, Channel 5, Eyewitness News.
That's us, baby.
Thunderhead.
My name is Troy Sepien. I'm 22 years old.
My name is Jamie DeGrazel. I'm 27 years old, and I was on a mentor program here learning how to be a photojournalist when I shot this.
John Martin, 25 years old and 6 months experience here at KSTP.
My name's Nick Kessler. I'm 24 years old. I work 3 or 4 days a week shooting sports part-time at Channel 5 here.
Well, maybe you've heard of broomball, but don't quite know what it is. It's been around for decades, but is just now seeing an explosion in popularity.
To find out why, we sent 5 photojournalists to a game at Augsburg. John Gross has the story.
It's 24 degrees below zero. It's been 8 years since we've been that cold.
Okay, guys, let's give a little love here. On 3, life. 1, 2, 3, life!
Cold outside, but it's beautiful inside.
Woo! Let's go! Broom ball!
It's similar to hockey.
Same amount of players, same power plays, same setup.
But instead of ice skates,
they're like a spiral traction.
They have special shoes so they can run.
Come on, go, 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 go!
And instead of a puck, they use a ball that looks like a small soccer ball. And at this level,
shoot it, Ira! Shoot it!
The broom really isn't a broom at all.
These are really ultra-light, solid rubber. Make good contact and really improves the shot speed.
Oh no. You're kidding me!
Rough? It can be.
Gave a guy 127 stitches.
But their main goal is simply to play.
Wait, get on a guy!
Back, Steve, back!
Stay with him!
There it is, there it is! Beat him, Scott! Go with it! Somebody take him!
15, get a shot!
That's you, Paulie!
These guys work their butts off, I'll tell you that much, running up and down the ice.
Play once, you never want to stop.
Take it, take it, take it! Nice shot, Robin.
Some of the best teams in the country are from Minnesota. In fact, the team from Minneapolis won last year's World Championship.
Key to scoring is get the goalie going the wrong way, find an opening, and shoot and score.
It's not really a big spectator sport, and you won't read the results in the paper. But this broomball game is all-out fun. There's always a winner and a loser, but not for long.
You go out there and you hammer them on the ice, but afterwards it's like 50, 60 of your best friends.
Good hustle, good job.
Broomball.
It's great to be a part of it.
Invented in 1922,
Fun game, though.
is now more popular than ever.
Good job, guys. Good job.
From Minneapolis, John Gross.
Yep, we'll get him next time.
5 Eyewitness News.
Good shots. Way to talk. Everyone played well together.
We all worked well together. It was a lot of fun. It was a real confidence booster for all of us people who haven't been working that long in the business.
You know, Jared did a great job editing it and made a great piece out of a simple story.
We really had to work together, and we each had our own assignments, and it was very important for each of us not to stray from those, or else the package wouldn't come out.
We weren't paid anything. Most of us, I don't think anybody was paid anything for this. We all did it on our own time after we'd already worked a full shift on a Friday night. And so it was completely unpaid, but it was fun because it was more fulfilling because we did it on our own time, I guess.
I got a friend writing lyrics for a song called Like I Need a Hole in the Head. And the first line is, are you all listening? You don't need to shake my hand, it shakes just fine on its own.
You don't have to shake my hand, it shakes on its own just fine. You wake up one day and you look in the mirror, wonder how you spent all that time.
This is the one part I told you, we're going to put those little bars in your ears. You may feel a lot of pressure there. It's only going to be temporary, okay?
I look in your eyes and I am filled with confidence. This will be on for the rest of the day, right?
For the rest of the day, that's right.
Try to be stylish about it, please.
You go downhill and you know, you're thinking for the longest time that this is the way it's going to be and it's just going to get worse. And you can't do anything about it. You can't make the tremor stop. You know where you're headed. We all know academically or intellectually where we're headed, but we never like to acknowledge. And in Parkinson's, you know where you're headed and there's nothing you can do about it. And it is a feeling of powerlessness.
It's hard to imagine how you could live like this.
No, that's right.
But a lot of people do.
Everybody knows somebody who's got Parkinson's. My God. I was diagnosed 4 years ago. They don't know what causes it or how you cure it. But I read they're working on it, like with stem cells. This is my teenage son, Andrew, taking a break from video games. And my trophy wife, Sharon. I'm 67. She's a lot younger.
Well, what do you want to do again? You want to play tennis?
What else? I want to be faster than Andrew. Of course, I was.
Set realistic goals.
I'm ready to go. Walking lucky and a lot of simple things are getting really hard. I'm slow, I'm stiff, I'm shaky.
They begin the procedure by making 2 holes in the skull, each the size of a nickel. They'll guide the 2 probes inside of my
I get a
brain
great
like
neurologist, a great nurse, and a great surgeon, Chris Calhorn. That's him. And check myself into Georgetown University Hospital.
And no recreational drugs?
Nope.
Okay.
I missed all that.
Hold your applause. It's not over yet.
It's really a quality of life issue, and as you know, it's not going to cure your Parkinson's disease. I wish it would.
Right.
And but what it
it's
really
the next
can
best
do,
thing.
well, it's the next best thing that we have, really. Yeah.
It's going to quiet my symptoms.
That's the goal.
Nobody knows for sure how deep brain stimulation, works.
So we can see right here, these are the very tips of the electrodes in the subthalamic nucleus.
But maybe it'll work for me.
Two very small holes in the...
Easy for you to say.
What are you doing now, Doctor?
What I'm doing now, Mr. Farkas, is I'm planning out the 4 incisions that we're going to be making on your head, okay? And then we're going to clean your scalp very thoroughly, and then get going with the actual operation. Okay?
4 incisions for a vasectomy, huh?
That's right. Is that what we're doing? Oh, yeah.
This is Ray Farkas at Off Center Productions. Please leave a message. Hey Ray, pick up the phone. Pick up the phone.
Now, Mr. Farkas, I have the pedal over here, I think. This is the part, Ray, where you're going to hear a lot of loud noise, okay?
Okay.
It's not going to hurt you at all, but it's going to make your teeth almost chatter a little bit. It's going to be very noisy, okay? But it's not going to hurt a bit.
And this is as far under as I'm going to get. This is as far under as I'm going to get, right, Dr. Kellerman?
Okay, ready? Yeah. Yep.
I feel fine. I never felt a thing.
Yeah,
I recommend this to everybody.
Do that. Yep. Yep. Yep.
Everybody ought to have 2 holes in their head.
I remember when my father had Parkinson's, and he took the medication for it because there was no surgery or any alternative available then. And it wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty. He started having hallucinations and died of the side effects. I don't know if he died particularly of Parkinson's, but he died with Parkinson's, and it was not a very pretty way to go. I'm lucky in so many ways. I'm lucky in so many ways that my father wasn't. I suppose I'm lucky in so many ways that a lot of other people aren't.
I could while away the hours, consulting with the flowers, conferred with the rain.
And my head I'd be scratching while my thoughts were busy hatching if I only had a brain.
Ray Bolger sang that in The Wizard of Oz to Judy Garland.
For any individual in trouble or in pain.
With the thoughts you'd be thinking you could be another Lincoln if you only had a brain.
This is me with pills before the operation.
How's that?
It takes half my energy just to try to relax, and the other half trying to hide my shakes. Walking. It's just crazy. You can't walk without thinking about putting one leg in front of the other.
If you shake my hand, it shakes just fine on its own.
And this is the new me after the operation.
You don't need to shake my hand. It shakes on its own just fine. But no more. Look at that. Steady as a rock.
And you tremble, you're embarrassed. You go out with people and you try to hide your arm, hide your leg. You don't know what to do. You don't know what to do. And you're just totally self-conscious at all times. And I think, you know, people don't say anything to you. You know that maybe you're covering it up well enough, or maybe they're just being kind to you. They don't say anything to you. But you're so aware of it, it just alters your life completely. I can do everything that I couldn't do, that I'd stopped being able to do. I can take a shower, I can take a walk. I can move. I don't fall over when I try to tie my shoes. You think these things sound simple, but they're not so simple for a person when he has Parkinson's. But they're simple again. My ex-wife told me on the phone that she always thought I needed brain surgery.
You have a brain?
You know, one of the things I'm looking forward to now is not running races with, but playing with my grandchildren. I didn't have any hope of that before, or my son. That's worth the whole price of admission right there. I should be worried about 2 holes being punched in my head. I should be worried about brain surgery. And once in a while, as we get closer to it, and I think about it, I guess I'm maybe a little bit concerned. Just a little bit concerned. What were you concerned about, Ray? It was like a walk in the park. There was no problem at all. A couple bumps on my head, but that's all. And a life of freedom from tremors. What more could a person ask for? Whew.
Had brain surgery. Would you like to film your father's brain surgery? I said, picture this. You got a drill going into his head. You see some smoke coming out. And there's Dad. If I only had a brain. I mean, everybody together. Come on, beautiful.
Can we get some harmony going?
Doctors,
My
nurses.
older son's Mark, an executive producer for C-SPAN, and Danny, a professional cameraman, taped the operation.
Surgery like this, it's unlike a lot of other operations that we typically would do. You know, first of all, the patient is awake, which is unlike most of the operations that we do. And second of all, we need to be able to see Mr. Farkas and examine him during the course of the operation to test the effect of the stimulator.
Ouch. While daughter Julie hangs out in the waiting room with Sharon.
Amazing.
The brain feels no pain. Amazing. Amazing concept.
It's easier on me than it is on them.
When I called Mom, I started crying and I couldn't get any words out. And she's like, oh my God, is he dead? I said, no, he's doing great. He's not shaking anymore.
Manjeet. Where are you, Manjeet?
Someone else you need to meet, Manjeet Sangara. That's Dr. Sangara to you, Manjeet to me. I saw Manjeet in Dallas and she told me about the operation and was never more than a phone call away when I needed information or reassurance.
You know what, that's what I thought too. When I walked in there, I saw him and he's talking to everybody and giving basically a running commentary. He did look as though he was enjoying it.
He's in his element.
Yeah.
She even came up to D.C. for my surgery.
I tell you, this has all come about because of you.
This group of nerve cells is hyperactive. It's firing too much. And we think this is what gives rise to the abnormal movements, the tremor, and so forth, which occurs in Parkinson's disease.
Are you putting the electrode in now, Dr. Calhoun?
That's right. It's already in.
Oh.
We're gonna be testing it here in just a minute.
When are you going to turn me on?
Mark.
My left foot seems to have stopped.
Yeah, I agree.
Right. Well, my right is still,
Right.
yeah.
Now the stimulator's disconnected now, and if you look, his tremor's now back on the left-hand side. You see the difference?
Wow, what a difference. Boy, I'll tell you, more alternating current.
You know, it took